Okay, cool. Let's bring that down. I love that I can do this live. That part I do like. And bring that up. And then bring this up. And then bring this up. Yeah. Cool. Alrighty. Let's go ahead. Close that, shrink that. Yeah. Ooh. So I've been busy dealing with let me know if y'all can hear me. I can probably do a check on my phone to see how it's coming in, but I'm not gonna do that just yet. Actually, I'll go ahead and do it just now. That way I'm not like wasting all my breath. I always catch myself doing that every time. It's exactly what I catch myself. Okay, so I wanted to first of all, this is the day before we have the Crazy Ninja. This is the day before tomorrow. Let me just reword this. Tomorrow, doing a live stream at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, Texas time, if you want to be more specific, and of my audiobook. And it's going to be a Q&A afterwards. Probably just going to, that stream is going to end, and then I'll start up a live stream later, like immediately after, and then people can, join me there, ask me questions about the book, or just ask me any questions about anything. And yeah, that's going to be the idea. That's the goal of tomorrow, and that's going to be the one time that this audiobook is going to be on this channel, open to the public. Other than that, you gotta go buy it, or maybe I'll have it as like one of the members things. Which since last video, I've been thinking of a whole bunch of stuff for ideas for the members only page, and I got some ideas. Got some stuff that I'm gonna put up there. If I put it up there. I don't want to get people's hopes up. But I want to talk about a couple things. One is when dealing with kind of an idea for helping you deal with overseas clients, because that's what I've been dealing with a lot lately. I've been incredibly busy. In fact, I'm not fully finished with the project. I'm finished with all the recording, and I'm finished with the editing, and I uploaded the files to the client. But they gave me full control and full they gave me freedom to kind of reword the script, because it was very loosely translated to English, and there were lots of errors, and I let them know multiple times in advance that I can do that I would try that, and if there was anything that I had trouble with or couldn't get the full context, because there was a lot of context missing, that I'm totally fine us re-recording. Also, I have someone, this was for a client in China, and it was in simplified Chinese. So I have a friend. Her name is Joy Lin. She is a great writer. She's actually one of the people that I worked with for that dream project that I'm working on. She did all the first 4 scripts. She went and did the red pen for all of it. Gave me a lot of points. She's award-winning writer. She's done like screenplays and books and stuff like that. She's really cool. But she's also from, I don't remember where she's from, but she originally spoke Mandarin, I believe. And so if they do need me to re-record some stuff, or there is some miscommunication or some problem with context, I told them that we can go hire her for an extra fee to help mediate and help make sure that this is good. They said that shouldn't be a problem for now, but they will keep that in mind. And so I actually have a few friends on my list like her that I have for if I need to communicate with another client. There's a few countries where I have that: Japanese, Korean, Chinese, specifically Mandarin. Cantonese is, it's very different, but then there is Spanish and a couple other places. But I have friends that I know that can be on call, or that I'm more than happy to bring in and pay them to help me. But fortunately, the client both sent me their translation plus the original simplified Chinese. And so I was actually able to take that, and even though Google Translate isn't perfect, put it into Google Translate, and it gave me basically a second opinion. It gave me a second layer of context. So even though it was still broken English, I could still read over it and then read over the other one, and it's worded very differently, but it gives me a different picture of the same thing to help me confirm that I have the right idea of what's being said and how it's being said. Which helped me out a lot, because there was a couple times when I didn't know what was being said, or I didn't know what the character was supposed to be feeling. But in Google Translate, it gave me like a flipped around different translation, which gave me extra context. So even though Google Translate isn't perfect, it helped me out a lot. But at the same time, I have other options to do stuff like that. So the only thing I think I have left to do with that client, and this was for a video game, and there was like a character, and they have like big long monologues, and the action sounds were easy and fine. There was no real need to retranslate. There's nothing wrong with that. But there was some, the long monologues as they went on kind of got a little rougher, and I kind of had to move stuff. And sometimes it was just having the subject or the predicate or the adjective in the wrong space, in the wrong spot. Sometimes it was having redundancy, basically saying the same thing over and over and over again, multiple times in a sentence. So wasn't that bad. It just took me a little while. And also, being the fact that I am dyslexic, I had to take my time with it and couldn't just rush through it, because I wanted to make sure that this doesn't make sense because it's broken English and not because of my dyslexia. So I had to make sure and go over it multiple times. It's something that's really, really tricky, and something I don't have to do often, but and it's happened enough that I have contingencies, that I have kind of this more or less a system. And I think the only thing that they asked of me is to send them the script back with highlights, showing what I've changed, which is going to be a little tricky because some of them, it's pretty much almost the entire thing has changed. So that's all I got left to do, and I'll just got to send that to them. Yeah, that's it. As far as like the updates, there was something that I'm gonna do in a video. I'm still gonna do in a video because I want to get some samples. And I'm just talking about this until you guys start asking questions. Which, by the way, if you're here, you're asking questions, fire away. There was another thing that I had to what was I about to say? I was going to talk about AI voices, voice cloning, and stuff like that. Because there was a lot of people that had come to me being very concerned about that. And so there's a couple voice cloning or AI voice services that I've been looking at to kind of do a deep dive. And I think Mike Delgadio already did a video on this, and it was a pretty good video. But I think he kind of leaned more in the direction of this is or will be an issue in the near future. As of yet, I don't think that it actually is going to be a huge threat to voice acting. I don't think it's going to be that big a deal. I think it's way too. It's starting to really sound like a real person speaking. There's still slight glitches and slight little hiccups and audible noises that you can pick up and tell that that's computer generated. But it is getting close. The problem is that if you put in the same sentence multiple times into the system, it's going to read it the exact same way every single time, as opposed to a human being won't read it the exact same way every time. And a voice actor will, knows to add different inflection. A computer won't know to add different inflection. And as of right now, there's no process, there's no system for getting AI to add emotion to the dialogue, which is why I'm not super concerned about it. I think there are areas where it is going to be kind of it might start interfering with day-to-day voiceover work. I have started to see some YouTube videos that have AI voices on them instead of actually having a voice actor. And part of that, a lot of that clientele isn't really, I don't think you're losing a lot. Those kind of clients, the ones that just kind of like cookie cutter, copy and paste stuff from Wikipedia, and then just take stock footage and then just have voiceover over it for like science related stuff or news related stuff or history related stuff, just to create some kind of content on their channel. That's not a huge chunk of voiceover work, especially not for me. And I don't think it's going to be a huge problem. Let's see. For international clients, do you factor in time zone when sending in work? Not really. I just kind of send the work when it's finished. There are lots of clients that, like Omen Studios that I work with in Singapore, and they've actually already done a lot of that kind of planning. They tell me when they need it by according to my time. So they tell me, it's like, hey, we need it by Thursday, 4 o'clock Thursday, your time, kind of thing. But most of the time, if it comes through Fiverr, I just send it on through whenever I'm finished with it. There's no reason for me to wait to send it. And there's no reason for me to, the only time that it would be an issue is if they had a deadline and that deadline was according to their hours. So you do have to kind of ask that. But if there's not really like a deadline, especially when it comes to like their hours, then just send it when it's finished. If you send the file and it's really late at night for them and they won't even see it until in the morning, they're going to see it when they first wake up. So it's totally fine. There's not really any issue there. Greg says, "Hey, how's it going?" Or he says, "Sup, bro," but I don't speak that. I don't know what language that is. So I'm just gonna say, "How's it going?" Mm. Mm-mm-mm. Hope I don't have to go get some more water. Whew. All right, so yeah, back to the AI voices kind of thing. And again, I'm gonna do a whole video on this. I don't think it is a huge issue, and I don't think it's going to be a huge issue until sorry, I got all kinds of stuff in my eyes. Until AI starts developing actual intelligence. It's still until AI is a little bit more self-aware and understands feelings and has them. Then you will have issues of AI being able to add inflection, to be able to add personality to the read, which is the thing that we still have and will always have over AI. So it's not really going to be that you're going to lose commercial work. It's not really that you're definitely not going to be losing any video game or character work. And the reason for that is because we can do character voices, we can scream, we can go crazy, we can whisper. In order to do that with AI, with voice cloning, you have to actually program in all the different ranges of emotion and all the different emotions and program those in and basically have like a kind of slider where you could select an area. Okay, this sentence or this line we want them to ramp into being aggressive or something like that, and then you'd have to have some kind of algorithm for the voice to blend. But that's really advanced, and that is far away from what voice cloning is actually doing right now and capable of. So I'm in no way concerned, especially for what I do, which is mostly character work and video game. For people that thrive primarily on doing, informational or webinars kind of stuff. people that do that kind of where it's just informative, educational, and possibly news related stuff, yeah, I can kind of see it getting kind of in there, because then you don't really need inflection. You just need, the information just spat at you. But, you know, I don't know. I still don't think it's a huge threat, as at least yet. Good day, sir. Greeting and salutation. Yeah, there you go. I trust with two. I I trust. I trust that this day. It's like a German. I trust that I don't know if that would be German. Anyway, I trust that day finds you well. Is that better? Yes, except for the tusk that threw me off. But I automatically, by default, corrected that and said trust. Yes, that is much better. That is exactly more or less how I speak. I am way too white for sup. In fact, like, I don't. If you've ever received like a text from me, then you will see that I go out of my way to have full sentences, and I don't use shorthand. I don't abbreviate. Anytime someone like abbreviates nowadays, which apparently you can just abbreviate any sentence and any you know up to 10 words, like abbreviate them into, like, I don't know, what is that, an anagram? What is that? Or it's just the letters, and people are doing that all the time with me. Like, I don't know what you're saying. That's not a common, like, WTF is common, but not every single one of those is common. Like, feel me out. If you see me texting you and it's like full paragraphs, it's full sentences, I'm using punctuation and all proper spelling, don't be coming at me with abbreviations. That's ridiculous. But anyway, this is just an old man rant, I guess. Yeah. So, fire away with your questions. I'm done with my opening stuff, considering that these are more or less the videos to expect for a little while. Also, I've been having trouble with upstairs neighbors, like I've said before. There's always someone up there, and they're always playing music. Fortunately, I was able to get the project that I was working on for that one client finished, because a lot of it was like screaming or really loud projection. So turned the gain really, really low down, got closer to the mic, projected a whole lot more, and it brought my volume past their overall obnoxious noise. So that was fine. But as far as like recording some things, it's just not going to work. Fortunately, they do go to sleep at some point. It's just not a huge window of opportunity. All right. My deepest and most humble apologies for the assumption that you were well versed in the various forms of contextual slang. Yeah, no, not very well versed in that at all. Never been, and it's not something that I really ever care to do. In fact, if you've ever read, most of you guys haven't read any of my screenplays, but almost every single character I write the way I would speak it. And then some characters I have to go back and I have to abbreviate it, or I have to throw in more modern ways of speaking. Because for the most part, by just default, I will always type in I am, and I have to go back in and put I'm by default. That's an example of who I am. But I still try to write it like natural. It's just proper English. Okay. What's what's up, all? Damn it. um. Aberration. Aberrations. Aberrations. Aberrations work. If it's actually known. Abbreviations. I'm guessing those supposed to be abbreviations. Adorations. Condolences. Howdy, Greg. Hey, are you? Oh, how are you? I don't know. My dyslexia killed me. It was like, hey, are you Tim today? And I was like, what? My brain just punched me in the head. Yes, I'm good. Looking great today. Thank you. I am almost out of my makeup. This little random tidbit for people who don't know. Like regularly, I put on makeup because normally like my skin's a whole lot worse. But I've gotten really, really good, and this started from when I was doing stage. Doing stage work, you always have to have makeup, and often outline certain features so that they're more predominant on stage, and so people from the back can still see you. So I just gotten really, really good. Also, years of doing clowning, so I'm very familiar with makeup. But I'd gotten really good at making it look natural and not like you can see it. I'm not gonna do a makeup tutorial. I'm not gonna do a makeup tutorial or anything. But some of these videos, I need it. Otherwise, it's like, oh God, did he get hit with acid? What is this? Is he a Batman villain? Yeah. So, what else? There was some other things, but I can probably say for for a video for a video later on. Are you Tim today? I am Tim today. I'm absolutely Tim today. But I don't I don't know. I kind of miss the days early on in YouTube when everyone just had like a persona and no one was like genuine. And there was always like everyone always did videos where they would split screen another version of themselves in. They would talk shit on them. I kind of miss that. I did that a lot, and that was a lot of fun. Those were the good old days of YouTube. Now YouTube is, I don't know. Yeah, now YouTube is just everything. It's just anything and everything all the time. Like the Bo Burnham song. I was listening to a lot of that recently. Um, what else? Oh, you know what? Let's just talk until I get some Captain Disillusion. Yes. Oh my gosh, I love Captain Disillusion. I'm so like when I see like, oh, he hasn't posted like another video in like almost a year. I'm like so disappointed. Like immediately my heart drops. I love his stuff so much. But I do understand that there's a lot that goes into his videos more than mine. Obviously, it's just me in front of a webcam with a microphone with this on a stand. But yeah, I love Captain Disillusion. He's awesome. Yeah. One thing that I wanted to talk about was my project that I've always been hinting at. And one thing that the reason that I've been hinting at it and not really going into too much detail is because I wanted to kind of drum up interest without people knowing what it was. I wanted people to want more and get people kind of behind it so that when I do share something, there will be at least some audience for it. Um, it is it is about some sci-fi stuff. It is about it's basically my take on an anime. It's my take on an anime, but it's probably more closely related to things like I Dream of Jeannie and Bewitched, and maybe the Dick Van Dyke Show. By the way, keep asking questions. I'm just spilling time. I don't gotta keep telling you how to ask questions. Um, uh, and then also like the some older animes like Tenchi Muyo, to give you guys some idea. But it's very much about two people. It's very much a drama and a comedy. And I've already recorded my half of the first episode. It took me a couple days to get it done. It's a lot of work because it was almost all screaming. It was like 2/3 screaming because it's a very funny introduction to the two characters. And so he's kind of like just the everyman, just a very everyday kind of guy. He works at a bank, and all of a sudden, this woman just shows up into his life. And I'm not going to go into too much more detail, but very soon I will have something to show, and I will be talking about it a little bit more. But yeah, so he all of a sudden shows up, and it's not the best introduction to him, and it terrifies him and scares the shit out of him. But now this person is just in his life, and he cannot get rid of them. But yeah, it was my originally I actually started writing a different story, and this happens a lot when it comes to writing. Same thing with comedy. There's a lot of it was a lot of vocal strain. I had to take a I think I had to take 3 days in between, and then almost like immediately after, I had to do a whole bunch of shouting for that video game for the Chinese clients. So there's a lot of screaming recently. But I actually originally wrote it to be a different story, to be a different idea. And but then there was, even though I liked the idea, there wasn't enough there, and so I kind of just left it. I kind of just it didn't make it past the storyboard, not the storyboard, the rough outline phase. I didn't even really write dialogue, but I kind of like blocked it out. But there was nothing else there, and it was really, really short, and I didn't really feel like doing it. There was no point in making it a book, so I just kind of left it off to the side. Well, later on, I started working on my art. For people who've gone to my Instagram, you can see my art, and and those two characters are very much the majority of that art. So if you guys want to go listen to this and go check out my art, I should be in the description. Is it in the description? Is it in my thing? Yes. You can go look at the stuff, look at my art on Instagram while you listen to this. But I was needing to work on my art because I needed to get better at art, better at figures, so that I could do more storyboarding for a lot more stuff that I wanted to do. I also present and pitch people ideas and concepts. So I needed to be able to be good at concept art, because my main artist, the person that I used to work with a lot, kind of just gave up, and they kind of just left me high and dry. And it was someone that I had kind of banked on, someone that I'd kind of put too many chips in and kind of relied too much on their skills. And so I hadn't really advanced my skills, because the idea was I was going to be the writer, I was going to be the director, voice actor and stuff like that. And they were going to be the concept artist, storyboard artist, animator, all that kind of stuff. And it was going to be kind of this, working together on a lot of stuff. And we tried to work together on multiple things, but they eventually weren't able to work with me anymore. So I got, and you know what? I'm going to go get them. I'll be right back. They're not that far. They're just right over here. Oh, these look like shit. They have been beat up. Oh. Again, feel free to ask questions. So for those who don't know, it's a very common thing in art to buy these weird, creepy, tiny mannequins that just, to put this on on like a shelf, just staring at you. It's worse than like an elf on a shelf. But yeah. And I bought a kit of those because I'd never really had them, and I needed to work on figures, like body shapes and stuff like that, and better poses. Because most of my stuff was more cartoony. God damn, get on there. And there was a kit that came with two. Came with a male and a female. And this is also why a lot of webcomics and animes, a lot of the characters have basically the same proportions and kind of more or less look the same, is because they're all basically drawing and animating off the same reference. Hey Tim, do you still have the cat? Yes, I still have the cat. He's asleep in a box in the living room. Actually, no, I think I set him outside. I let him outside. But yeah, still got the cat. Are you wanting him? I can FedEx him to you. But yeah, if you ever see that back there, that red kind of blanket, that's basically a cat tarp that I put over my bed, just so he can, if he's in here, he can wallow on that thing and not get any hair on my pillows and anything that actually touches my face, because I'm still highly allergic to the little bastard. But so I bought two figurines, and I started working on my art, and I also needed to work on some more high-tech stuff. So I had decided to just draw, that and consistencies. So I need to draw the same characters over and over and over again in different poses. And that way I work on body figure, I work on consistency, and I have, male anatomy, female anatomy, that kind of thing. So as I kept drawing these two separate characters, Eventually I, started to get a little bit better, and I wanted to draw them both in different scenarios, just fun, random scenarios. And so I started drawing these two characters in these two, in various different situations. And as I'm drawing, I'm just creating a scenario in my head and who these characters are. And eventually I took the old abandoned idea and applied it to them, and with extra elements made it more interesting, and I was able to do more with it. And at first it was just something fun that I never really intended to really do anything. But the same friend of mine who liked this story and helped me flesh this out to make it into something more tangible, also liked that story that I was working on, and wanted to brainstorm with me and also build it out to be something bigger. And so I am currently trying to I'm currently talking to smaller studios. I'm gonna make the show either way. It's probably going to be about 24 to 28 episodes for 2 seasons. I'll probably split it in half between 12 and 14 episodes per season, because it has kind of a um nice little middle point that I liked a lot. Um, so whether it's me funding it individually and just putting it on personally, and then just putting it on YouTube, or if it's me actually going through a studio, you know, it's going to get done. And if I can't animate, if I can't pay to have an animator, then we'll do a web comic. If I can't do a web comic, then I'll do it as a series of books. But it's something that I'm absolutely still going to do. I'm surprised there are no real voiceover questions. However, these are the usual suspects, and yeah, I mean, you guys are very much familiar with my videos and probably have already asked almost every question you could probably think of. Mm, 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 mm. But yeah, and the characters are very, very sweet. The male character kind of started out like me, but now is very much not me. Definitely took him in a different direction, which I like. I mean, you have to write based on what you know, and so there is a launching point that you springboard off of, that is you know yourself, your emotions, your experiences, and then you can tweak them and change them slightly, and kind of think of it as how I would deal with it, kind of thing. But you know, I really do like them, becoming their own thing at some point in time. Oh, we got a question here? No, we don't got anything on here. Okay, cool. Ooh. What were the other topics that I am gonna do a video on? Do, 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 do. Mm. Oh. Mm. Nope. Oh, is that really it? I forgot about the Bill Dewey's Chuck Norris thing. But yeah, that was it. Here's a VO question. Okay. I've upgraded my booth, and while was that kind of desk sized half box? Is that your booth? Because I think I saw pictures on it. And while it's way better than the moving blanket tent. So sorry. I was in before. It's definitely boxy. I dealt with. So let me see. Send me a link to the picture, whether it's on Instagram, Twitter, whatever. Send me a link to it. And I'll check it out. If it is that kind of box thing, it's probably because it's just too small. And there's just not enough rooms. Okay, so the acoustic foam is designed to split the sound waves. But if it's too small, they're even though they're splitting, they're still getting to the mic. So you're still getting this kind of very large kind of reverb that's giving you kind of that boxy sound. So putting some distance between the wall, the treatment, and the mic will kind of help with that. Another thing is if it's designed bigger in one direction, like if it's too tall or if it's too long, then you're going to get a little bit more of a boxy sound, which is why I put a bass drum over me in my recording space. Because it's basically like 4x5 by 8, and so it had this kind of tube sound because it essentially was a tube. And so if you kind of break that off a little bit, that might help. Also, it kind of depends on what's behind you. I don't know what the wall is like behind you. And final thing is, it could just be the microphone. The microphone could just be too sensitive overall, as far as like it has too wide of a pickup. If it's more narrow and it has like more side cancellation or picks up less on the back, like a shotgun mic or a small diaphragm, it may work better, because even if you are getting still some reverberation because of how close it is to the back of the wall, it might pick up less of it. So might do some tweaking, might do some experimenting. But I'd have to hear it probably to get a better idea. I shall attempt to reach out to you forthwith. Still continuing with that. All right. Okay. In reference to the question of a commercial demo, for those who are still struggling with, as to whether or not to obtain a demo from Timmy. I don't know if that was a question. Was that a question? I don't. Did you message me? Because I know I said that I was available to help you with the demo. There's also someone else who's sent to me. Actually, I think someone who's very well known in the anime industry sent someone who was new to voiceover, not new to acting, but new to voiceover, to me for coaching and demo production. And I had never talked to this professional in the anime industry before. I had to look them up, and I was like, holy shit, they recommended me. So I don't know what's going on there, but someone else has been sent to me for help with demo production. So, apparently that's what I do. Apparently I'm good at it. Apparently, I think. So come on down to Tim's demo making praetorium or whatever. Are you doing any conventions? I am not doing any conventions. But okay. So here's what I have planned. I have said to my roommate, and I have plans that I haven't set any dates, but I'm going to be, I already have a backdrop. I have that thing right there, that thing. I have things to sign. All that's really holding me back now. I'm sure if I go to convention, like no one's gonna know who I am. Probably no one's gonna show up. But it'll still be like a fun experience. I can still check it off my list. The last thing I want is to get a good number of these books to sell, so I have something to sell, because I don't really want t-shirts. I really don't, and no one's gonna care. Paid autograph or another. No one's gonna pay to get a photo with me. Okay, so if at least I have some kind of product, then before the end of the year, I'll probably be at a convention, somewhere in Texas. I don't want to go too far out. Definitely not to California. That is way too expensive of a trip. And I would just rather it be close by, especially if it's not going to be a huge lucrative venture. That's just one thing. So at some point, yes. I wholeheartedly say you should. Oh, to the convention thing. Yes. Let's see. Voiceover question continued. Pretty aggressive, narrow cut. Oh, okay. At 100 hertz to manage it. Yeah, that's just straight up bass. That's just bass trap. That's just bassy stuff. Um, I'm interested to know in what your the dimensions of your container, in what room it is, what's behind you, and what kind of material you've used, and also what your microphone is. I don't remember if we actually. I don't remember what your microphone was. You probably said at some point. Um, but yeah, there's a tons of different avenues that you can go down to kind of fix that, to kind of remedy that. It's not a huge problem. It's not a huge deal breaker. It's not a huge thing. It's totally something that can be fixed. It's totally doable. Setting dates. Are you getting what? I wish I was getting married. I really do. I really wish I was getting married. I hate dating. I really hate dating, but I love the idea of getting married. I absolutely love the idea of getting married. Um, yeah, I'm old fashioned that way. I'm just really, really old fashioned. Sadly, I've met uh the people that I would have proposed to. Um, all of them have been a nightmare. Two of them are actually what this book is based on. Um, and some of them, I don't know, just our lives went in different directions. And then, yeah, I would absolutely love that. But you know, you gotta go on, Facebook, you gotta swipe first. You gotta check. Nobody meets each other in face to face anymore. You gotta check. It's like, oh, and they're like, well, that's not a really funny way of responding to me. So, blocked or whatever. It's stupid. And they go there, and they're completely different because they photoshopped or they Instagram modeled themselves from up top, so they were like narrowed down to a pen. And then we meet, and they're not even a good person. They're boring because all of their answers were just food. And I like to travel. Who doesn't like to travel? And just it sucks. But yeah, I'm not gonna rant on that anymore. I'll get lost. I just DM'd you a picture on Twitter. Oh, okay. Let me see. There we go. Okay, that is the thing that I was thinking of. Okay. Let's see. Y'all can't see it, but I'm looking at it. Oh, you have that microphone. Yeah, it's the same one. It's the same bad boy. Yeah. Oh. Okay. So you got it looks to be the exact same one. Which is a good mic, by the way. It's a very, very good mic. I actually really, really like it. So yeah, it really looks like it's just a little too close to the back. So you don't really have a absorption material for behind the mic. There's not really much there that's actually grabbing the audio. I also really like the microphone in a Ziploc bag in the background. The foam is the right size foam for those frequencies, but you may want. I don't know how permanent this setup is, and I don't want to tell you to like just start over again. Um, mm. Ooh. I'd have to know a little bit more about the room. The mixer's fine. The microphone's probably fine. I don't know. I think, okay, first, let's say try a different microphone. If you have other microphones, try a different microphone. I don't know. I don't remember if you had anything other than the handheld, but try a different microphone. And then the next thing that I'd say is try placing the mic in different spots in the booth. Corner, straight ahead. And then last thing is what's behind you. It could just be that there is bounce back from behind you that's coming in and just getting muddled up in the corners of the booth. Because the space behind you is still reflective, you're still going to get a lot of bounce back, even if this part is kind of blocked off. So I don't know, kind of hard to say. The dimensions 3 2 by 2 walls. Okay. The roof and floor are 3 by 2 floor. Oh, the space that it's on. Gotcha. Hang a moving blanket behind me. Okay, as in like it's over the top and it drapes over you. My mic is the right same one. Gotcha. Okay. It might actually just be trading out the mic because having used this one, I can say that this has a really now it benefits from having a really nice bass to it. When I want to have that boomy sound, I actually go for this microphone because it has that richness. That's what it's for. It's meant to be a little bit more of kind of an homage to the Neumann, the Neumann TLM 103, TLM 104. It's kind of what they went for, and it has like a really large capsule in there, if I remember correctly, which is kind of supposed to be more of that kind of capsule, and so it has a little bit more bassiness. It has a little bit more boominess. So maybe change up the mic, but I don't want you to just go out and just start buying every mic that you can and trying all of them. I don't know. I don't know if there like a microphone rental store nearby? Because where I am, there's like Rock and Roll Rentals. There is Guitar Center, stuff like that, where I can actually go in and like rent, instruments or used stuff. And I've tried out a lot of microphones that way. But I don't know. There will be no starting over. LOL. This is a huge improvement. I mean, it is. I mean, I imagine it is. I mean, it might just be kind of take down the bass a little bit. On my mixer, I always have a little bit of bass down. I always have the EQ on the low end down to further help with traffic noise and to kind of help with the boominess. So you might just have to deal with that. Kind of like roll with that for a little while. I don't think it's that big a deal, that big a problem, but it could just be that the box is not that big. It could just be that. So if it's a huge improvement, roll with it for a while. Keep with it. I can say for certain, every time I build a booth, every time I build a new recording space, I always hate it for the first couple weeks. I always think that the previous one sounded better, and then eventually I kind of get used to it. So that might be it. That might be it. Improvement that just got my most valuable VO order yet. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, it's probably fine. The walls are 3-inch acoustic foam. Oh, the panels and foam over 5 layers of moving over 5 layers of moving blankets. The heck? Oh, this is sticking off a little ways. Oh, okay. So there's a little bit more of a gap between the flat hard surface and the acoustic foam. Is that it? I guess that's it. Oh, cool. Telemarketer. No, thank you. Piss off. Okay. Blankets all around foam all the way around, bass traps in the corners, done. Kind of. Yeah. I mean, that's the basics of setting up a booth for sure. You should need 5 layers. Not really. Oh, I think what you're trying to say is, should you need 5 layers? It depends on how much noise is coming in through what's on the other side of those blankets. If he's got kids and those kids are losing their shit on a regular basis, and he's already put rooms between them, but he can still hear the then maybe the blankets are needed. So, kind of, it just depends. Just DM'd you another picture. I'm in my closet as well. Yeah, gotcha. Who's that signed by? Look like Carlos. Who's Carlos? Should not. Yes, indeed. Yes. Yes, don't do shouldn't. What is this abbreviation? This is condensing words. If you don't have the time to speak properly, don't speak anything at all. Hey, Big Black Guy Reviews. How's it going? Boop. Put that back on. I mostly just keep these for like the dust. There we go. Because they don't really provide anything. You've seen my setup. I have seen your setup. I think I did I help you with your setup when we did the back and forth? Did the one-on-one? I don't remember. I know I suggested something. I don't remember what it was before now. I don't remember what it was before now, but yeah, I've seen your setup. Chilling at work, maxing, relaxing, all cool. I don't remember. Where did you work? Where'd you work again? I think last time we talked, it was like security guard or something like that. Which I hope you're not doing security anywhere near 6th Street. Dear God. Oh, I hope not. You poor man. Corn Road? Probably not. I think it's already at the length that I can donate it. So it's probably going to get trimmed real soon. I'm going to get just right to the scalp, up to here, because once it gets up here, it's not very long hair because it's falling out. It's getting real thin. But all this back here, the mullet stuff, that's probably ready to go. I did have a friend who cornrowed it, and he did just because he had been growing his hair out too, and he said it's one of the worst things, one of the worst things he ever did to his head. So probably not. If I was cast in a role to the corner, of course, yeah. I've played a gangster. I've played a drug dealer before, so a very white drug dealer, very very white. Not not what you're thinking. Not what's his name? Norton, not Norton from not Edward Norton, not an Edward Norton kind of performance. Oh, Curtis Judd. Oh, that's his signature. Oh, okay. Oh, cool. I didn't even. Did you get it from him? Is that where you got it? Or was it you had it and then you met him and he was like, yeah, I'll sign this. I bought it off of him. I should have just read ahead. I'm an idiot. Tim, read. I bought it off of him after he did a review. Oh, okay. Okay. Nice. So he just signed it for you. Cool. Yeah, he is awesome. I don't know what films. So he's supposedly done some film, audio work for film, and I don't know what films he's done. I'll have to look him up on IMDb or anything like that. But I think he's done more documentaries. I might be wrong. Either way, his reviews of microphones are probably the most in-depth reviews I think I've ever seen. Mike Delgadio does great reviews, but he gives kind of more his feelings on it, and kind of how he would use it and that kind of thing. And then there is what's his name? Oh, he always throws the box behind him. Those are the 3 people that I go to for microphone reviews. Yep, security. I do security for Walker. Oh, that's right. Work my part-time gig for most of South by Southwest. Oh, you poor man. South by Southwest. Podcastage. Thank you. Podcastage. Absolutely. Next time you get break. Next time you get braided, we need to create Will Forte scene. Oh, from Keanu. Oh, Key and Peele. You guys will never stop killing me. Never stop being funny. Hey, Rob, you should probably have Big Black Guy reviews on your show. I mean, y'all do movie reviews. Y'all both do movie reviews. I know both of y'all. I can highly recommend both of y'all to each other. Message each other. Get in touch. Do some movie reviews. You know, get it done. Get it, make it happen. Yeah, that's it. I'm just gonna try to make connections. 17th Street. Okay, that's far enough away. That's far enough away. I know the hellish stuff happens on 6th Street. So, as long as you're 11 streets away, you should be safe. You should be safe and fine. Yeah. What else? I think the setup that you had, Rob, I think that's very much like one of these. It's like a large version of one of these. And these kind of, the way they're designed does kind of trap a lot of low bass frequencies. So I don't know. I'm still kind of leaning like maybe it's a better, it's kind of an idea of like maybe it's the microphone. I don't know. I'm kind of leaning that way a little bit more. Hello from North Africa, Algeria. Oh, hello. How are you? What is it like over there? How are things? Let's see. Man, I so far behind. Man, I so far behind. I'm just gonna smash everybody for grammar. I need to be creating content. You really do. I mean, every voice actor needs their own YouTube channel, and every voice actor needs to, and that doesn't mean that you need to do videos or vlogs that help other voice actors. That's not necessary. It's more just you need to have some kind of, number one, outlet, and another way of showing people who you are, and another way of getting your name out there on some level. You'll make connections and, work with other people. It's basically, YouTube can sometimes kind of be like going to a convention where people are just meeting people and talking and chatting and then getting people's contacts. So everybody needs, a YouTube channel if you're in the creative field. How much do you sleep in your day? The past couple days, it's been 5 to 6 hours a night. I fortunately, because I was for the most part done with that past project, I slept for 5 hours, and then I got home and I slept for like 3.5 hours. So essentially within 24 hours, I got, a decent amount of sleep, but normally it's around 6 hours. My bad. That's what, that was a quote. Oh, gotcha. Okay. For the okay, I gotcha. Okay. I've got an upgrade plan, and the mic is on there. Okay, cool. But a few steps down the road. Okay. Well, first of all, do not break the bank. Do not don't go crazy with it. You don't have to have a Neumann. I think you and I, talked about this on your stream, or not one on the stream. It was just, chatting about one of the mics that you hadn't planned. And yeah, just keep that in mind. If you are getting a microphone that has like a very flat flat signal, and then you can like more easily EQ it out, that might actually easily fix that problem. You definitely don't want a mic that has kind of like a low end boost to give it a little bit more, bassy richness. That's just gonna sound like going through a tuba. So, you know, yeah. I want to up my interface to 24-bit. Okay, yeah, yeah. Interface is probably a good idea. And good, made a connection between you guys. I'm still trying to improve my American English accent to start hitting this amazing domain. Um, I I don't think it's 100% necessary, but it is always good for every voice actor to add to their repertoire of accents and dialects. One thing that it will actually help is, and this has helped me out a lot, is because I'm aware of kind of the different ways people speak in different accents and kind of the way certain things are like translated in different areas. When there's misspelling or miscommunication, from a certain client, because I'm aware of kind of a vague understanding of how their language is kind of structured, I can kind of guess what they're trying to say a little bit better. And it also helps when I get a script and there's like, and this is a small example, but there's like color with a U in it. um you know uh, and my spell check automatically flags it like this is wrong. I'm like, it's fine, I know that it's just not from America. It's because we do COLOR, and I think most other people it's COLOUR. So um might help. And it helps me. So yeah, by all means, stretch out your accent and dialect range, and it will definitely it won't make or break a career. It's still going to come down to quality of audio and performance and your ability to communicate in a friendly and professional manner with your clients. But it can help. Yeah. Slow and steady wins the race. Yeah. Because the Arabic domain of VO, you can't get a lot of jobs. Yeah, I can kind of see that. I can see that. I think a good chunk of it appears to me from the years of doing this, uh, almost every other country does work with or for other countries, that the majority of them speak English. Japan, Korea, um, have a lot of. Give me a second. Mm, mm, mm. Lot of English is like the number one taught second language, because the majority of their work, a lot of their work, is dealing with the UK and dealing with America. So they have to, in order for them to have, a job, they have to communicate with other countries, these countries on some level, just because we have mass import with both goods and creative services. And a lot of these other countries have focused on um, manufacture or digital services like animation, video editing, and stuff like that. Which is totally fine. You know, if that's the economy, if that's how, if that's what your area, your region can export, then that's going to be the focus. But yeah, I can understand that it wouldn't be that there's a lot of jobs within your area's circle. I mean, there's not a lot of jobs necessarily for me within my circle. It's a lot of my clients are overseas, because a lot of them are making products and doing services for other countries, and so those countries or those areas, it's English speaking, and so they need an English voice actor, and so they get me. So I can understand that. So I can also understand why kind of working on an English accent or English dialect would kind of help. I've been following you since February of 2020. Well, that is a while, and as soon as I get members badges up and running, that is, I don't know which one that would be, but there's definitely a badge with your name on it. Um, yeah, so cool. Thank you. Thank you, by the way. I hope I have helped, and I hope I've been informative, and I hope I have been entertaining. I really do. I sincerely do. We need a Papa and Tim show. um, I mean, for the most part, if anyone wants to do like a live stream or wants to do a podcast, that as of right now, I'm not really in a position where I can, manage a podcast on a regular basis. But if someone else wanted to manage it and invite me on a regular basis, I'm cool with that for the most part. It would just come down to planning and scheduling and kind of like what it's about. I got the how and why. Now all I bead is what? I don't know if that's deliberately messing with me from the earlier statements, but tell me what the what is. Tell me what the what is. What is the what that is holding you back? What is the what that you need? And what is the how and why? What is it that is um what is it that's kind of like bothering you? What is the thing that you need help with, or the things that you think you understand? Just let me know. Ask them away in the questions. Folks, Timmy is an awesome podcast guest. Thank you. I used to have a podcast, but that I had to burn because my previous my co-hosts were wildly offensive and drove away all glimmer of hope of keeping sponsors. And it was infuriating, and it was a lot of work on my end, and it was a lot of time, it was a lot of editing, it was a lot of marketing. And then we finally were getting some revenue and some money in, and then they just had to shit on the the sponsors, and they pulled away, and all of that money went. And it was infuriating. And it was like at that moment I was like, I'm done. I'm done. I don't care anymore. I don't care. This is stupid. Everyone's got a podcast. I don't care. But if someone else wanted to kind of like get the ball rolling, I'll probably have a podcast later down the line. It's just setting up something like one of these. It takes me probably about 30 minutes to set this up, and then about 10 minutes to take it down. If I had to do that like every single day, meanwhile still operating in here the way I normally need to, that'd be too much. Um, I would like something that I could keep up, and then just have a regular schedule that I can go and do something with. But that's one of the reasons I haven't gone forward with it. Hope you make a vlog in the future of how your day goes as a voice actor. Day in the life. I actually did have some a series of vlogs that were in a row that actually were that. There was I think it was before 2020, so that might explain it. But there was I did that for, I think it was a week. I don't remember. It might have been 2018, 2017 that I did something like that. But my day to day has kind of changed a little bit. So yeah, I should definitely do something like that again. Not anytime soon, because it's not anything that I record now wouldn't be a good representation of my day to day, because it's all kind of random and it's all kind of like all over the place. There's not really like a consistency. There's not like a day to day. But something like that. Something like that would be a good idea. Mm, um, what's the name of your podcast? Me? Oh, I think it's just on his channel. It was, I don't remember what it was called, but he can probably tell you. I'm still addressing a couple of tech issues on my creation. Then the episode will be up. In the meantime, aka asked him what he thinks of time travel movies. Don't do that. I mean, if y'all cared to hear about time travel movies and my opinion on time travel, by all means, go for it. But if you do bring it up and seriously want to know, it would be the last topic we talk about, and then the podcast would be because it would be like hours later. Jim and Rob overanalyze movies. Yeah, there we go. We live stream every Sunday, even here on YouTube, on my YouTube channel. Thanks for asking. Yep. Go check them out. It was fun. It was fun being on there. Should I make a demo or get professional help? Okay. That is a really, really good question. Do not worry about a demo until you have a good setup. Wait until you have a decent setup. You don't have to spend thousands, but you want to make sure that you have a place to record. So, here's a mistake that a lot of people are making nowadays is there's a lot of people going into a studio, and they're having a professional make their demo. And yes, it's going to be a really good demo, but then they get home and then they're working with their setup. And 99% of clients expect you to have your studio, your setup, your skills, your microphone, and to be able to record at most hours of the day. You're not going to be able to go into studio because you can't afford it. They're not going to pay that much anymore. And you want a demo that's really, really good, but it's an accurate representation of what you can do and what your studio is capable of. A good idea would be, if you still want a professional to make your demo, you still want to be able to record it in your space. And then what would happen is you would talk to them. This is how I do demos with people. We do a live one-on-one. We kind of go over your setup, your gear. We kind of talk about whether or not that sound is working for you. Kind of work on that in advance before we even start working on the demo. Then once we've established that, you have a really good setup, that's clean audio, that's easy to work with, then we start talking about what kind of demos you're going to want and what kind of things you'd want in your demo. If you have character acting experience, we would do your character demo and based on the character voices or the voices that you can actually do. And then we would kind of tweak them. So if you gave me a list of voices that you can do, whether it's descriptions or whether it's actual samples, then I would write little bits based on those demos or based on those voices. And then once I've written that, send it to you, let you review it. Same thing with the character or the commercial demo. And then you let you review it. And then, we would do another Skyping session and we would record each demo one at a time. And then finally, I would take those, you would record it on your end and you would send them to me raw. Don't do anything to them. Just make sure that it's not peaking, it's not compressed. There's none of that. Send it to me. And then I will then do all that kind of stuff. And that's pretty common for most professionals that you would be having make your demo for you, having you help make your demo. That might be what you want to do, but for a lot of professional demo production studios or coaches, it's going to be expensive, and it's better for you to spend that money first on making sure that you have a good studio. So what I would suggest is that you go and talk to someone, whether it's me or whether it's somebody else, and do a one-on-one coaching session live so they can also hear you, and talk about your setup and talk about your mic and talk about the sound quality and kind of get an idea of where you are. And then basically once you get their kind of either their approval or their suggestions to improve it, then you can start thinking about a demo. But you're going to want that first. It's not demo, then all of that other stuff. It used to be, back in the day, you would have a demo and not even have a recording space, and you would always go into someone else's studio. But nowadays, you need a demo that is not just a representation, my voice is going out, not just a representation of your skills, but also a representation of your quality. So that's how it normally is. Let's read some more questions. Also, let me know if that helped. Thank you so much, man. My pleasure. Have a good one, guys. Catch you later. You are so generous. Again, my pleasure. What you suggest for starting work on ACX or Fiverr? Ooh, that is a big chunky one. So definitely, I'm gonna get this out of the way. I keep hitting it. Definitely, again, focus on having a good recording space because, again, you're recording in your setup, and you need to be able to accurately show the clients what you can do. Crazy Ninja says, gonna hop off the stream. See ya. Bye. Catch you later. But again, you're gonna want a really good quality setup. That is, it doesn't have to be perfect. Doesn't have to be perfect. Nobody's studio is perfect, but it needs to be competitive. And what I mean by that is that it needs to have the kind of audio quality that doesn't put you so far under everyone else that you don't even get a look at. Man, I was not prepared. I was not prepared vocally. Woo! All right, probably be ending this soon, especially if I can't continue talking. So long story short, again, I do have a whole bunch of videos on Fiverr. I think there's an entire playlist. Yes, there is an entire playlist on Fiverr related stuff. Definitely go check that out. Let's see. I might be able to just pull that up. Let's see. Never know where it is. Where the crap? Where the freaking crap? Oh, there it is. There we go. That is the Fiverr playlist. All the videos on Fiverr. Long story short, Fiverr is very complicated. It's easy to understand, but it's not super complicated. The trick is that you have to create a gig for each thing that you're offering. It can't just be all-encompassing voiceover. So you need to have a character gig, you have a video game gig, you have a commercial demo gig, you have a audiobook gig, all that kind of stuff, e-learning, that kind of thing. And you got to separate them. That way you can more accurately pitch it with the right keywords. You got to, so it'll show up in more specific searches, because no client just goes on there looking for voiceover. They're looking for a very specific thing. They have a particular project. What's their project? Is their project a video game? Is it a commercial? Is it an ad or whatever? Then they're going to type in those keywords, and you want to make sure that your gig shows up in with those keywords, with those kind of specifics. Otherwise, you're going to get shoved all the way down to the bottom. If you have a really incredibly vague, I will do voiceover for any project, that's going to get all the way down, pushed all the way down to the bottom of the list. So you want to be a little bit more specific. So you want to make sure that you have gigs or samples that accurately represent each one of those things. Next thing that you want is a very catchy visual, because when you scroll through Fiverr, you see the videos, but they're always still. So really, you're getting kind of a thumbnail. So you want a really catchy thumbnail, and then you want that the sample is a really good, accurate representation of both what you can provide and the kind of thing that they're looking for. And then the rest is all going to be your gig details that kind of answers pretty much any question that the client would have. So when they click on you and they read it, they know a lot more about what they're going to get and what to expect. And then after that, then it's just making sure that your quality is good. Okay. Hope that helped. As far as ACX is really just auditioning. It's not client searching you. It's just auditioning. So that just comes down to being really comfortable at doing very long form reads and having really good audio quality, because it's audiobooks. Oh, heart. My pleasure. Is there anything wrong with just wanting to do animation? No, there's nothing wrong with that. However, there's a caveat. There's nothing wrong with it. But you can't quit a day job just doing animation, at least not for a very, very long time. And what I mean by that is you have to when you're starting out, you basically have to open yourself up to all kinds of stuff if you're wanting to make enough money that you can buy more audio gear, you can set money aside, that you can upgrade your space, all that kind of stuff. You want to be making enough money that you can keep this what's essentially at the beginning a hobby going to the point that you get enough momentum and enough uh, you get enough of a foothold that you can start taking things seriously. I started out doing everything. Most people do, but pretty much I haven't gotten a commercial, a narration gig, in a or even a e-learning gig in a long time. Uh, in fact, I think it's been probably over a year since I've gotten anything like that. All of the stuff that I do now is character animation, cartoon, video game. Every now and then I do, some stuff with impressions, and I do there are some ads and commercials that I do, but they're all based on characters. I'm always doing a character, not just my regular voice. I am incredibly terrible at commercial narration, script interpretation, and it's something that I'm always going to be working on, just because it's not written in a way that's easily comprehensible for someone. They always want you to read it naturally, but it's never written naturally. It's always like the back of a pill bottle or the back of a cereal bottle. Like it's just a vomit of information. But they're like, read it like you're reading a friend. I was like, I would never say this to a friend unless I wanted that friend to stop talking and leave me alone forever. I would never say that. So that's one of the major problems with commercial narration. It's just something that I'm just not good at it. So is it totally fine? Yeah, it's totally fine. You can 100% just bank all in to character animation, video game, cartoon, that kind of stuff. You just need to make sure a couple things. An agent is never going to sign you if you don't have a commercial narration demo. Even if your strength is animation and video game, they will not sign you unless you have a commercial narration. That is going to be 99% of the stuff they send you as far as auditions. Nobody is just going, "Yeah, we only do animation, stuff," which I've always wanted to start my own agency that focuses only on that kind of stuff. It's a 10-year plan goal kind of thing, which I think would be a lot of fun. I think it'd be awesome, but I'm also really not comfortable with the business side of it. But yeah, it is very much possible to do all animation, character, and video game. That's what I do. Yeah. So I don't know if there's any more questions. My voice is starting to kind of give out. We've been doing this for almost an hour and a half. Almost. Might give this a little bit longer, so we get a little bit more to an hour and a half. But I'm gonna wait for you guys to ask any more questions. If there are no any questions, then I'll probably be signing out. And then tomorrow, another reminder. Tomorrow, doing the stream, the live stream. I'll be there. So if y'all want to ask questions during it, y'all can go ahead and do that. But there will be a live stream of the Black Dress audiobook on this channel one time, and maybe it'll be available privately later on, but it'll be the one time that's going to be public, open to the public. And then after that, I'll do a live Q&A. People can ask me questions either about the book or anything. We're going to do that, and the stream will end, and then I'll do the live Q&A on a different stream. And that is going to be at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time tomorrow. So if y'all want to hop in, join there. I tried to do it like later in the day so more people could be off work or whatever, but it's also on a Sunday. So, hopefully be more people available. But yeah, feel free to ask me more questions. I'm also almost out of water, so that's a perfect time to quit. Also, what do you guys think of the lighting and the setup? It's a lot of lights. It's a lot of lights I got going on just to look relatively not shit. I kind of like these blue LED lights that are behind me. They're not very bright, but they do kind of give a little bit of a blue sparkly halo, and I kind of like that. Yeah. Pretty much it. Put that there. Whew. Oh, one thing I'd also like to do is do some like live writing streams where I'm just writing something. that people can hop on. But yeah, it's gonna be it. So no more questions. Totally fine. I guess I'll see you guys tomorrow. That's gonna be it. So hope this answered some people's questions. Hope y'all had fun. Hope this was entertaining on some level. Not as much fun as last time because we really went on a roll with something that I really want more of. I want that to be a thing. I really want that to be a thing. I want the Bill DeWeese being Chuck Norris of the internet, of the voiceover world. I really want that to be a thing. But yeah, it's gonna be it. So thank you guys for watching. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. Totally fine. Subscribe if you're new. Bell for notifications. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Peace.